What if I told you that starting a podcast could take less than 10 minutes? No fancy equipment, no studio rental, no editing degree required. Just your voice, an internet connection, and a platform that handles the rest. Okay, maybe a good microphone as well. Today, I'm reviewing Buzzsprout. Let's find out if it's the ultimate tool for beginner podcasters and multitasking business owners, or if it's just another dashboard you'll forget you even signed up for. Welcome to GBRLIFE Reviews. I'm Caitlin, and if you're into content tools, honest reviews, and real deal feedback with zero fluff, you've found your spot. Now let's talk Buzzsprout right after my quick intro.
Capture tales in text, it's a written quest. Life's pages turn our treasure chest. Ink spills truth, not a bit less. Our blog shines where the heart confess. Yeah, so that was fun. The motherhood raised, balancing acts in the life square ballet. Stay engaged.
All right, what is Buzzsprout? Well, Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting platform that was literally built to take the stress out of podcasting. You upload an episode, fill out a few details, and it handles everything else. So distribution, analytics, and even automatic optimization. And you get listed on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more without needing to figure out the whole RSS feeds or audio file formats. And here's what stood out to me. It's ridiculously simple for uploading. You just drag and drop it into Buzzsprout and it takes it from there. It even cleans up your audio with additional enhancements that are chef's kiss to not being a sound engineer. In other words, you don't have to know how to do it. It does it for you. Distribution also is no headache. It basically just does it and that's it. And plus, there's dynamic content tools and a custom website that embeds. So if you need a podcast landing page, Buzzsprout will give you the customizable one, and it even integrates with your main website. Yes, even Squarespace users. And you can also embed a sleek player directly into your blog posts. I know I do. And if you're like me, running a vlog, a clothing line, and a podcast, then ease of use matters. Buzzsprout doesn't demand hours of setup or tech savviness. It's designed to let you be the creator, not the IT department. So let me show you inside of Buzzsprout so that you can see all these things that I just mentioned. And I've been using Buzzsprout for GBR Life of Crimes, so I do actually have an idea of how this works. Let's take a look inside. Here we are inside of Buzzsprout. It's not anything spectacular, but it does show you everything in one spot. And whenever I say it's not spectacular, I'm just saying it doesn't immediately go, oh, look at all the pretty colors. It's literally just a basic dashboard. Episodes, episode pacing, so how your episodes are doing, comparing each other, your achievements, and resources so that you can make your podcast the best ever, or just kind of learning some things if you want to learn some stuff that way. Plus, you can see all of your episodes, when you uploaded them, and how long they were, how many people downloaded. This one's coming up, so you should go check that one out, Carla Homolka. And then you have your players. So from here, just so you know, I was on home. That brought me over to episodes, and you can search, of course. Then you have your players, which is your embedded codes that you can add pretty much anywhere. Also, this is customizable slightly. If I want to just do the 5 most recent or the 10 most recent or some with certain tags, I can do that by selecting that, and then it will update the code and you add it that way. Also, if you're just trying to do one player at a time, this is also an option for you. Oh, and on here, customize your players. You can also customize the look of it as well. Then you go over to the website. So this is your actual website for your podcast. It gives you the link. You can change some colors in the background, add some photos, add some pages, pod roll page, fan mail page. It gives you everything you need, but very just podcast based. So if that's what you're looking for, this is the place to go do that if all you're really doing is your podcast. Plus, it's good for your link in bio if you want to just add one link and it's just your podcast, or you can also add in your link in bio, within the link in bio, either the embedded player, or you can add in the actual podcast website. And then you have your directories. You can go to your RSS feed. You can do email verification. That's my email. Contact me if you are interested in having me do any speaking or if you'd like me to review your product. But back to directories, you have all of these different places that you can go to just to determine where you want to put your stuff. You don't have to put your podcast in any of these places. So when you go and sign up for the first time, you decide where it's going to go. But if you look at this already, look how many there are of an option that you can go ahead and add your podcast to. This is why Buzzsprout is one of the best ones out there, because they basically just add more places you can add your podcast versus anyone else. But then they also make it so it's a very quick and easy thing for you to just add your podcast straight to Buzzsprout without having to really try too hard to pull it off of another platform. In other words, I used to have Spotify for Podcasters, which used to be Anchor, and they purchased it. I wanted to move everything over, and I did in about 2 seconds. By logging in here, they asked me what the RSS feed was. Boom, it was done. That was it. It really wasn't a big deal. And then I was able to go ahead and just say, yeah, list it here. And I'm not saying that you have to go into each of these locations and set up an account. No, you just say, hey, yeah, list it there. I'm serious. That's it. So other than that, you can also do monetization. They've got subscriptions, ads, sponsors and affiliates, and support show link, where you can collect money for your podcast from Patreon, Podfan, Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, and Cash App. In other words, they're working with all the places you want them to work with. Your podcast info, and then your statistics, which are not bad. Now, I will say with the statistics, the one thing that isn't great is that they don't necessarily get it from literally everywhere. They do have all of these places you can add it to. I'm not really seeing it show up as all of the same numbers that I'm seeing in some of these other locations, but that's okay. At the end of the day, you're still getting some pretty good information from those statistics, and you're able to be pushed everywhere. I can't really say that I'm upset about that whatsoever. Now, let's talk about the one thing that people are going to be the most interested in, and that is, let me find it because I never remember where things are. Probably under episodes, right here. If you go to episodes and you want to upload an episode, you also have Magic Mastering and Co-host AI. Let's talk about some pricing, because that's going to make a whole lot more sense when we look at the pricing. These are add-ons, but they sure help to add to that podcast. Okay, here we are with pricing. You have free, $12, $18, or $24. The difference between all of them is for free, you really only get your podcast hosted for 90 days. In other words, this is just a trial. They want you to see how great it is, and that's really it. So if you want to try it out, go for the free. You can do that. But now let's get into real deal. $12, $18, or $24. You get 3 hours, 6 hours, or 12 hours. Everything else is basically the same. You're going to get everything that they offer, with the exception of, because you can see right here on the bottom, it's Magic Mastering is $6 a month, or $9, or $12. And then Co-host AI is $10, or $20, or $30. And the reason for this is because, again, these are add-ons, and they're more money because you have more hours to upload your podcast. Because if you're doing multiple podcasts, they're charging more. Magic Mastering basically makes it so that your basic microphone turns into a great microphone. It makes it sound way better. They master it. They fixed all the little kinks inside of it and made it sound better, right? So that's what the Magic Mastering is. Not everybody's going to want to use this, which is why they made it an add-on. And then there's Co-host AI. That's a little different. Co-host AI is what you're going to want a platform to do for you, especially with AI now. It does your titles, your show notes, your chapter markers, your transcript, your social media posts, and your blog posts. This makes it so that you can do a whole lot in one spot without having to worry about it. So you upload an episode and then you get all of this as well if you pay the additional $10, $20, or $30 a month. So is co-host AI worth it? That's going to depend on you. How many places do you want to go and do all of that? Or if you want to do it in one location, Buzzsprout offers that. Either way, it's an option, and not all podcast platforms have that option. So is Buzzsprout actually worth it? Yes, Buzzsprout is actually worth it. If you're a creator or a business owner who wants to podcast with minimal stress and maximum reach, try Buzzsprout. I use it, so yeah, I'm a little biased in that sense, but I've used a lot of things, and this one, I'm a fan. But it's not ideal if you're building a massive media network with dozens of shows, or you need full back-end access like a server level editor. But honestly, for most of us, this is more than enough. Prices included. And it's not the cheapest, I know. But what you get out of it is a lot more than a lot of other locations. It may not be the best forever, but today, in 2025, this is a fantastic option. Now it's time for the GBRLIFE rating. For overall rating, the powerful distribution that it has, in addition to the clean analytics, and just how welcoming it feels to new podcasters, I'm giving Buzzsprout a 4.5 out of 5. And I'm docking half a point just because the magic mastering and some of the other cool features that are add-ons are, well, add-ons. I do wish they had at least a plan that made it so it's automatically there and you can use it in an unlimited way, even if it's more expensive, but it's just an option instead of worrying that they're going to raise the price of these add-ons in the future, which is why I don't personally use the add-ons. I just, again, wish that they baked it into a main plan. But still, it is worth it. Well, that's it for this week's review. Next week, I'm going to be discussing a tool that I think you might be looking for if you're looking for easy ways to make money via affiliate marketing. You're going to love this one. And I went ahead and put the link below all ready for you to sign up if you want to in the description box. But don't miss out on this great opportunity from Test Squared. Believe me, go check out the link. You won't want to miss this one. And don't forget all the content on GBRLIFE.com, our podcast episodes, blog drops, and the comfiest Mama Koala gear that there is. You do not have to be without GBRLIFE in your life. So like if this helped, and subscribe if you're into reviews that cut through the nonsense. Oh, and don't forget to check out last week's review on Talk Studio. I'll see you next time.